So we find ourselves in amongst a load of, what are they? Hyundai Ioniq 6? And there's more than one. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got one of the drivers in front of us. Could you introduce yourself?
Yes, hi. My name is Jan, and yeah, like you said, I'm one of the drivers of the Ioniq 6 today.
Can I just ask you, when did you get this?
So I got this one in December last year. So I had it for nearly a year now.
So going back, what was it made you choose a Hyundai?
So I wasn't even planning on getting an EV.
Right.
But yes. No, I had a, I was very happy with my previous car, which I still love a lot. But this is actually lease for the salary sacrifice. So my boss came over, probably around October, November last year, and he said, "Look, this is end of the year. They've got really good deals. So maybe, if you want one, just have a look." So I started exploring, and I settled on this. And I got to pick the delivery of this on 19th of December 2023.
So that was a bit of a shock from looking non-EV to suddenly going, hang on, I can have an EV this week.
Yes. And main reason was first of all the saving, the cost, because let's just say I've got a lot of money, on a monthly basis compared to my previous car, which was on finance, petrol, insurance, maintenance, everything.
Because the salary sacrifice is so beneficial, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And then I'm actually lucky enough to have the access to free chargers at work. So that just makes it, no-brainer.
Right, so these are workplace chargers,
yes,
and they're offered free of charge.
Yes.
How many people in the company have EVs and use those chargers?
I'm not sure exactly, but it's an office which has approximately 200 people, total, and I would say there's 30 to 40 EVs at least.
So someone from a company point of view is really taking the EV transition seriously.
Yeah.
I assume you know the boss. Is the boss really driving the EV for the company, or is this a?
So company is actually American, but locally here on site, the company, I would say, is very pro EV and very trying to be sustainable as well. So we started off with one charge point, dual charger. We then went to 2, and now we've got 4. So it's 8 points in total. Just outside the office.
So it's an evolution, not a one-off.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm assuming now you don't charge at home.
No, so I actually don't have I live in apartments. So I don't have even ability to charge at home. So
right, so you don't have the ability. And
if not for the work charging, I wouldn't even consider getting one, because it probably would be too. Though on the other hand, my driving isn't extensive, so with the amount of driving I do, I could probably get away with public charging as well.
Okay, so going to take you back now to the first day you got in this.
Yeah.
First EV you've ever had. That time in a Hyundai Ioniq 6. What was the experience like?
So it was more or less what I expected. So I'm a type of person that I always do a lot of extensive research before I buy anything.
Right.
But this was delivered to my home, first thing in the morning. And
did it arrive fully charged?
Yes, it was fully charged, because the guy stayed overnight, at the local services where they have Ionity. So he stayed overnight, fully charged it overnight, and then delivered it to me. And then I, offered I'm going to drop him off to the train station because he was going back home. So that was my first experience, just literally getting to a car and driving off.
Right.
But it was, it was good. So I knew, most of the features of the car, how it operates before I
read up about them.
And I did a quick test drive at a local dealership.
So you had driven one before you actually got this one. Right,
yes.
Okay. Okay. So your first experience in it, having come from petrol and diesel beforehand, because many of our viewers, particularly the ones who are not very pro EVs, seem to forget we all drove ICE cars, petrol, diesel, before we got anywhere near an electric car. So yeah, been there, done that, worn the T-shirt. But so coming from petrol and diesel to your first EV as a permanent car, how did you find the transition?
It was actually very easy, to be honest. The car drives, really well. Range anxiety is not a problem to me because, like I said, I don't do extensive driving on a daily basis. However, I do sometimes go a longer trip, which we may talk about as well. But it was pretty simple. So I usually charge it once every week, every other week, with my typical 15-20 miles a day. So it's perfect.
You see, this is one of the things that we need to get across to the viewers. Most people are brainwashed with range anxiety. If it doesn't do 1,000 miles, we're in trouble. It's the end of the world. And yet the average driver in the UK does 15, 20, 30 miles a day. And that's it. Most people in the UK can charge at home. Some people in the UK now can charge at work. But the idea that these people have got, they've got to have 500 miles or a 1,000-mile range. You didn't have any of that.
No, absolutely not.
So it's a reassuring message to any viewers out there who are thinking of changing into becoming an EV driver. Don't always believe what you hear.
Yeah,
It's not
and one of the
true.
reasons why I actually got this one is because it can charge really fast. That was one of the main selling points. That if I do go on a longer distance trip, I can charge it in less than 20 minutes and be on the way.
Well, it's very interesting because I've got the Tesla, of course.
Yeah,
it's an older car. I'm limited to 150 kilowatts.
Yeah,
it's out of date now, but still going well. But these are into the 300s, aren't they, under ideal circumstances?
No, so they advertise as 350, but the maximum it can take is around 230 to 240. So I plugged this today at around 30% state of charge, and I got to 230 something.
But that's at 800 volts, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
So that will give you effectively a faster charge.
Yeah.
So in realistic terms, when you plug these into a proper 800 volt capable charger, how long, you say it's 20 minutes?
So 10 to 80% is less than 20 minutes.
It is, yeah. So once again, for viewers who think you're going into EVs, you don't have to sit around for hours waiting for these.
Yeah.
Even mine, an older model and slower chargers, I very rarely charge more than 35, 40 minutes, even on when I'm arriving really low. So you've got the car. Anything you hate about it? Anything you regret?
Nothing I regret. The one thing I would say that the autopilot system, or whatever this is called in Hyundai, is not as good as it was in my previous car, but it's still it's pretty capable. Of adaptive cruise control. That's all fine.
Yeah, so sort of standard features.
Yeah.
Anything really stands out? You think, wow, didn't expect that, but that's really important or really interesting.
I think the two things is the range and how fast it can charge. This was the main two things why I picked this one, not.
And that's two of the big worries as well: is range anxiety and spending hours charging.
Yeah.
And it's surprised you.
And the amount of space inside is just amazing.
Yeah, they are quite a big car, aren't they? So you find it very comfortable to cruise along in?
Yes, so I did a 3,000-mile journey in Europe.
Oh wow, this is got to be
this summer,
3,000.
and this was just perfect, comfortable.
Right. So once again, we're told you can't road trip in an EV.
Yes, you can.
3,000 miles.
Yes, you can.
Okay, where did you go from to, and what was the story?
So I went from UK, from South Pax to Poland, and then back, and obviously I did quite extensive driving in Poland as well. Around 3,000 miles in total. No issues whatsoever.
So did you find, I'm sure you did, differences between the countries? Either availability or power or convenience?
Yeah, so I have to say that in Europe especially, because I was driving through France, Netherlands,
Belgium,
Germany, the network is actually really, really good. Especially Netherlands and Germany, it's amazing. So I took out the Ioniq passport, so I was specifically targeting Ioniq chargers in Netherlands and Germany, and it was absolutely fine. No queuing, no issues with charging. I think once or twice there was, one wasn't working. But if you've got 6, 8 available, then that's not really an issue.
Yeah. Well, it's just an interesting point you make about the Ioniq passport.
Yeah.
This is the membership.
Yes.
There's an awful lot of people say, I'll never pay a membership. It's ridiculous. Why should I have to pay to get a cheaper rate?
Yeah.
But the important point here is you don't need the membership in normal driving.
No, and I only got it for a month because I knew I would be using public chargers extensively in that period.
So this is it.
Normally
if
I
you've
don't.
got road trips or holidays or anything like that, just take out a membership for a month, get the ultra low rates, because you're down at about 43 pence in the UK. With
even cheaper in Europe.
Cheaper in Europe, and that's you pay a one-off fee. I think you get it for £7 for the first month.
I think the first one is around £7-8, and then it goes up to 12 or 14. But so that first month is
for about £10-20, you've got yourself really cheap charging throughout the whole of Europe, and it's not just one country. This
and I can share this. So I left home. I did 1,000 miles to Poland, left with a full charge, and it cost me £109. So
And yet, what did we launch recently? A video where someone was filling up a Range Rover, and it
yes,
came to 118 pound 98
yeah,
for one tank full,
yeah,
which on that car would only give them 300 or 400 mile range.
hmm,
And here we are, you've got £100 for 1,000 miles.
yep,
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't
yep.
it? So in terms of comfort and driving, it was a pleasant experience.
Yeah, very comfortable. Plenty of space inside. But it's on a smaller side compared to the competition, but it's still big enough for what I need. So
Right.
yeah, everything.
And the charging,
good.
you never found any areas which were totally blank of chargers and you're really struggling?
No, in Europe it's really good. Poland less so, but there's still enough charges available for.
So you're finding wherever there are
Yeah.
EVs or EVs driving that the
Yeah.
infrastructure is not perfect, but it's sufficient.
Yes,
And in
I
some
would agree
places
so.
it'll be
Yeah.
better than others,
Yeah.
but everywhere it's perfect. So this is a lease car, it's salary
Correct.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
You're coming up 2 years now. Is it 2 or 3 year lease?
4. This
You're
one
on
is
a 4
actually
year
4.
lease.
Yeah.
When it's due up, what are your thoughts at this stage? I know it's very premature, but will you go for another EV, for example?
I would think so. Yes. I mean, it all depends on what the kind of the conditions of the lease would be at that point. Mainly to do with the benefit in kind.
Yeah.
That's going to go up over the next couple of years, but it's still very
Yeah.
yeah, it's just much cheaper than other cars.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be EV again. It's just we'll need to see and wait which one.
Well, 2 years' time, we've got no idea what cars are going to be available,
Yes, exactly.
or what government we're going to have, or what tax incentives or benefit in kind that they're going to be offering. But so in your case, any interest in the environment? Is this for any environmental reasons, or is that a bonus, or is that not an issue?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, yes, I think we should all look after the environment, but that's not the main reason why I got the EV.
It's nice to be able to get one for the right reasons and then help the environment as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here today. You're part of a Ioniq 6 user club.
Yes.
Are you a participant? Do you get involved regularly?
Yeah, so I do contribute a lot to the group. Try to comment and help as much as we can, especially if there's someone new with questions, problems. We all try to help as much as we can. Yes.
Right. So this is a regular thing for you. So it's a help and assistance to others who are thinking of it or have already got an Ioniq 6.
Yeah.
And so do you meet up regularly?
No, this is actually the first one.
Okay.
So probably like a month ago, I actually threw up an idea on a group. Let's just meet up and.
So you started this?
Yes.
All right.
And see where it goes. And then Jack, because he was way more organized than I am, picked it up quickly and then created an event, and we started inviting people, and here we are.
Right. And you have an active, I think you got a Facebook.
Yeah,
presence.
It's a Facebook group. Yeah.
It is. So if I ask you a question, if someone out there is thinking of going for the first EV, but they've got a lot of worries, do you have a message for them?
Don't worry. Basically, it's a pretty seamless transition. Especially if you have access to charging. Most people would have one at home. Then that's really not a problem.
Yeah. Because in terms of cost, mine and several others, you're talking about £5 to fill them up at home.
Yeah.
Whereas anything petrol is 50, 60, 70 pound to fill up at a garage.
Yeah, I mean, I used to spend in my previous car, I think between 100 to 150 pounds a month on petrol, and now I don't pay anything. Occasionally I'll go out and charge publicly like today. But because I don't pay anything on a day-to-day basis, I'm not really concerned by paying 20.
It's a nice thing that if your annual charging bill, even if that's 20, 50, 80 quid, if the rest of the year is free, it doesn't really matter, does it? You don't look at the one-off where you have to pay a fortune. I've just charged up a top to put some charge in at a BP Pulse for the channel, which 85 pence a kilowatt hour.
That's crazy.
But if you only ever do it once a year, it's not the end of the world, is it?
No. It's absolutely fine. I don't mind.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say thank you very much. That's been very enlightening. This is really, we try to make videos which will show people what it's really like in the real world to get your first EV and to actually drive it, because your experience will dispel an awful lot of myths and misconception, and outright lies that people are fed these days.
Yep.
So anyone thinking of an EV, have a go. It's really good if you can lease, particularly salary sacrifice, amazingly beneficial financially. But even if you can't, it's a lovely experience. So we are, where are we? Hart Hills, Hare Hills?
Let me ask you this question.
Hartshill.
How many?
Hart Hill. Right, this is the Ioniq 6 Owners Club. We're just having just lunch today, back in the pub there, the Anchor Inn,
We've seen this.
and we're just doing a final photo shoot before we go. We've got, for the channel, we've got 5 Ioniq 6 we're going to go and do some filming with, but these are the drivers. So they all want to just say hello to everyone, and we'll...
No.
And apparently we've been told that there is another meeting, and it will be in Wales, and everyone here will be there, and I'm supposed to be there, and we'll all meet up again. So we'll look forward to that one.
That's bring around 6.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that might be a problem.
6 is only.
Can I hit your lift? So thanks very much. I'm Dave. If you've enjoyed this, please click the like button, and if you would, please subscribe.